There's a constant battle going on between good things in the world, bad things in the world, truth in the world, lies in the world. You see it day to day just dealing with people. Oh, that guy he wasn't telling the truth about that. You can kind of smell it sometimes. And so I think what we see day to day between that good and evil, truth and lies, that's happening around us day to day, and we see it. But I think it's just a reflection of what's happening on a deeper level spiritually, in the spiritual world. And I see God as a source of truth and love and goodness and our creator, and I think he wants us to walk in that. And we know that there's an opponent to that. There's an adversary, and in the Bible he's called the father of lies, and it's his native language. And so if he can get you to believe lies, then he's winning. And so you combat that by speaking truth to those lies. But you first have to recognize what those lies are. And a lot of those false beliefs are tied to, or as you call them, self-limiting beliefs. They're tied to just people believing things that aren't true about themselves. And whether that's someone else who relayed that to them, or however they came to believe it, if you're believing a lie, you're never going to get to what you could be. You're not going to be walking in truth. And so I think recognizing like what God says about you and how loved you are and how much he loves you, that's where worth and value and all that stems from him. So getting reconnected with our creator is the root of everything. It's hard for life to make sense until you come to that realization, or at least for me, that's been the case. Like, it's hard to make sense of life just thinking we exploded from the universe, a big bang or something. But I think that's fundamental. Like, we have to get connected to him, know him well enough, and then understand how much he loves the truth and speak truth to those lies. And know that it's bigger than like a God and creation relationship. It's familial, like it's a father-son or father-daughter relationship. And he takes it a step further. I mean, in the New Testament, it's more of like a marriage, where the church is called the bride of Christ. I mean, it's like a husband. It's an intimate union that he has with his people that know him. And I think the stronger that connection is, the more he'll flow through his people. And then you can be a touch of God to other people by letting him work through you. That's what he wants for us. I mean, that's as simple as it gets to me. Like, you see kids and you're like, oh, that one looks like dad. That one looks a little more like mom. That one looks a little like both. Like, as his kids, we should be reflecting like what he's about, what his spirit's about, who he is, like love. He is love. It's not just something about him, it's his essence. And so when I see love in the world, I see like that's God shining. That's what I think he loves to see more than anything. I think it's what we'll be measured by when our time is up, is how well did we love, how well did we treat others, because that's what he loves more than anything. The problem is people have a distorted view of who he is, whether it's through church or religion, or distorting the truth of who he really is. And it's a weapon of the adversary, that if he can get people to believe something false about their creator, then they'll reject him. But they're not really rejecting him, they're rejecting a distorted version of him. And I think if people knew who he really was and really sought after that they would find him and know that he's a good father, and he only wants what's good for his people. And it's really annoying that how his character has been twisted, and upsetting to know that people have believed false things about who he really is because of people who have twisted it, and so that's really sad, and people need healing from that too, to get past if they feel burned by a religion. And he never came to give us a religion. He came to restore right relationship with him and be back in the family and be restored to give us life, and an abundant life, not try to follow a bunch of rules and try to be good enough. That's not what life is about. He came to set us free from all of that and just restore us to right relationship with him and union with him. And then if he's within you and you understand that truth, then you understand how powerful you are, because it's not about you, it's about how powerful he is in you. That's the source of power. That's where you can touch others and make an impact. So, I mean, I think getting to know him, it's worth the pursuit.